Thank you to all of you for appreciating my last video on Sukhdev and how he met his guru, Raja Janak. As I promised you the next part of it, here we go. So, Raja Janak had to discipline his student, Sukhdev, and which is typical of guru, puts you through a series of tasks, austerities, which is very, very important. So, King Janak put Sukhdev Goswami through a series of disciplines in order to help him how to live in this world but be detached from our worldly duties, keeping our spirituality intact. And so one day he called him and he gave him 2 cups of oil filled to the brim, okay, and said to him, I want you to carry these 2 cups through all the rooms in my palace and return to me and tell me what you saw in every room, okay, without spilling any oil from the cups. Ooh, that will be a task. Imagine having to walk and watch the lamp. Oh, and by the way, the lamp was lit. So, the lamps were lit. So, Raja Janak called his messengers and said, I want you to accompany Sukhdev. And as the lamps are burning, when the oil level drops, I want you to keep filling so that the oil is still to the brim. So Sukhdev had this task of watching these 2 cups of oil very carefully as he walked from room to room. And guess what happened? Sukhdev Goswami returned after a few hours and he said, Oh King, I have succeeded because I did not spill any oil from these lamps. And the king said, but what did you see in the rooms of my chambers? And Sukhdev said, I didn't notice anything because I was observing the lamps and I didn't spill anything. And the king said, so you did not fulfill my task properly. And that's very important. When the guru gives you an instruction, you should listen carefully and do exactly what he told you to do. Don't do your own thing, okay? Because he's basically training your mind to focus, to focus, to focus, so that you achieve that level of focus where you are single-minded in your determination and do exactly that, okay? Which is so important. Our mind is so flippant nowadays, right? We're all over the place, and especially social media takes us through so many things. You take your cell phone, scroll, and you're reading so many other things that are not necessary, but which diverts us. So it's very important. So Raja Janak told him, go back and do as I told you. I want you to come back and tell me what you saw in each room that you passed through while you are carrying these 2 cups of lamps, and the oil should not spill. After many hours, Sukhdev returned again. This time, he was not so anxious and excited to tell, that he did not spill the oil. He was very calm and he told the king in minute detail what he had seen in every room of the palace, while at the same time keeping the 2 lamps very, very steady and no oil spilled. And Raja Janak was very pleased with him and said, very, very good, you have passed this test of mine and you have learned something. So what did he learn? King Janak was pleased. My son, he said gently, one should not live a one-sided life. Thinking only of God and neglecting one's duties in the world, such as you're concentrating on the oil lamps and not seeing the palace. On the second trip, you kept your attention principally on the lamps, seeing to it that you did not spill, but at the same time, you thoroughly saw everything in the rooms. So, should you keep your attention on God, not letting a drop slip away from the lamp of God revealing wisdom, and yet devote part of your attention to performing efficiently the God-given duties of maintaining yourself and others given into your charge. What a wonderful message. This completely teaches us how to be balanced in this life, right? So often we come across sometimes getting too lost into, our spiritual activities and forgetting our duties here. And sometimes we are even told that, you know, spirituality is important, and but we are not guided how to survive here, which we have to do, right? So each one of us has to find what is our duty here, okay, and fulfill that duty while keeping our spirituality intact as well. So you could be a lawyer, you could become a doctor, you could become a technician, you could become a politician, whatever role you are to play in this world. And you have to work because you have to support a family, you have to support yourself, okay? But remember to keep your spiritual life also intact, so that you are following a spiritual path, but at the same time you are able to survive in this world, be in this worldly world, but not be sucked into it. I hope that this message could reach out to many. And thank you for listening to this story. Please share this video if you find it useful, and please come back for more. Namaste.